It is Friday. It is Stash Wars Live. Mike the Sig Slayer here, chilling with my man Donny from the Memphis Comic Expo. What's up, Donny? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. So appreciate you.
Oh man, it is fantastic, man. We're going to talk about all things Memphis Comic Expo all night. That's what we're going to do. We want you guys to, as you guys come on in, smash that like button. We're going to be here all night. It is Stash Wars Live. And while we're here, let me just go ahead and do this. That's for later on. We're going to talk about that later. But while we're here right now, ladies and gents, as you guys already know, hashtag Stash Wars Live. I forgot to do the giveaway last night, so I'm definitely giving away tonight. We had a long show last night. Who's in the chat already? Space Case Collectibles, what's up, man? We're going to be talking about Comic-Con previews like we always do here on Sig Slayer Station, but we have the privilege of having Donny from the Memphis Comic Expo because we are talking. We're going to be there together. Memphis Comic Expo next week. This year. Yes, and I can't wait. It is next week, September 13th and 14th, and we're going to do a deep dive, go through all of the guest lists, and just unpack everything, do our signature price guide. But most importantly, as the Stash fam would like to know, and we're always wanting to know, we want to pick the brain of a Comic-Con organizer because we never get that. We never get that opportunity. And there might be answers to our questions that might get us to chill a little bit and not bitch so much. Because sometimes there might be some logistical things so many. You know what I mean? And so behind the closed doors, we don't know what's going on, and we're grumpy for no reason, right? So, but anyway, all right. But anyway, Donny, I want to shout out Comics and Collectibles, the shop out in Memphis. That's where I met you.
Yep.
And yeah. So yep. And I'm like Norman Cheers over there now. That's the new LCS for me. And so I just want to give, since this is your first time on the channel, give the listeners opportunity to get to know who you are as far as organizing the Memphis Comic Expo. But start with your comic book fandom first.
Yeah, man. So Comics and Collectibles is in its 39th year of business, and I have literally been working there since 1986. So that gives me 39 years of. Now I was young, I was in junior high, and I wasn't doing anything particularly important. I was bagging comics and just whatever I could do to hang around and make a buck. Yeah, man, it's been it's hard to believe that I have stayed with something that long, but and the place and the people are like family now. So I'm a lifelong comic book fan. I was hot into it, when I was in junior high and high school. I've maintained that love, obviously, but those were, for nostalgia purposes, those were like the peak years, really, I was pretty early on into figuring out who the comic creators were that I liked. I knew some artists were incredibly good, and I always wanted to check their work out. And the same thing for the writers. It was very clear to me at a young age that certain guys really put out the goods. And it was we were talking earlier about how I was a very sort of private, isolated youth, so to speak, and comics was just like my own little world. It wasn't anything I particularly talked to other kids at school about, but I was obsessed with it on a daily basis. There wasn't a day that didn't go by where I wasn't reading a comic or trying to get some money together to get some new comics. So, but yeah, I'm a lifelong fan.
During those early days, junior high school, what was like the epitome for you?
Yeah, right. So I loved all comics, but and so obviously I started with the regular superhero stuff, but that was like a really prime period, mid 80s, for a lot of really good, back then I loved Cerebus. I sort of liked Love and Rockets. I really loved Nexus. I was a fan of Badger. There was all kinds of stuff coming out. You know, that was kind of off the beaten path. And even back then, when I was just a punk kid, I came across the work of some of those heavy metal kind of guys like Mobius is, to me, still like at the top of my artistic hero pyramid. You know, so I really love Richard Corbin. A lot of those European guys that you would see in heavy metal like that. I love that kind of stuff. So I've just always had a huge appreciation, and you know, back in that time period, it was like full force. So.
Now we were talking earlier about writers, and during that time, it was like also an advent of just fantastic now known iconic writers, right?
Yeah.
Who's like your top
So
three
back
writers?
then, you know, I can remember, you know, coming in every. I can't actually back then. I think New Comic Day was actually on Thursdays, but uh, the wait between issues for the Dark Knight Returns was like had to be like 6 months in between some of those issues, and same thing for Watchmen. I can remember like just waiting and waiting on a new issue to come out, and I was like, that was torturous, you know, when you had something that was so artful and so fresh and new, and then it was like, you know, in theory, it's supposed to be a monthly comic, but when you're waiting like 5-6 months, you had key runs of like Daredevil with Frank Miller going on. Like, there's a lot of really good stuff going on back then. So,
And so transitioning to the Memphis Comic Expo,
Mhm.
what was like the origins and the early rumblings of that?
Yeah, so I would point to two things. A number of years ago, I went to a convention in Little Rock, and they had Bernie Wrightson as a guest, and I just sort of got mad that none of the local you know, conventions would get any kind of comic guests like that, and so I started counting tables and estimating attendance, and you know, I shot my mouth off enough to where I felt obligated that I had to do it, you know. And if I could just go back in time and stop myself. uh, but that's really it. And then I'd say the other thing. So in that same period of time in the 80s, my boss that I've somehow maintained this 40-year relationship with, he was part of a Memphis comic convention back then that I can't remember how many years they did it, but I was a young guy, and you know, I was able to get like some sketches from like Tom Yates and Joe Staten. Michael Kaluta was one, and I loved hanging around those kind of guys and watching them draw and asking them questions. Like, I was a big Green Lantern fan when I was a teenager, so you know, being able to talk to the guy that was drawing it every single month, Joe Staten, and he's a super nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
And so, like, I had just some really fond memories of that. You know, really too. I can remember one of them was on Mud Island, and you know, my parents dropped me off, and you know, I was there not just the day but the weekend, and I just had so much fun running around, you know. So those two things were sort of the pivotal points of coming back to it and doing my own convention. Like, it really wasn't something that I thought was a dream per se. I would say just really it just kind of snuck up on me. I'd say running my mouth and saying I was going to do it was as big a motivator as anything. So.
Okay, so the bottom graphic says, "What does it take to run a Comic Con?" For the novices out there, obviously, when people think of Comic Con, they think of San Diego Comic Con, but really Comic Con is short for Comic Convention, right? And so, just whatever comes to mind, Donny, what does it take to run a Comic Con?
Oh Lord, you better have some financing. You better be good at details and logistics. You better be okay getting rejected. People always throw out names of like really incredible guests that it would be hard for us to get, you know, like top level guests. And I think we've gotten pretty good. We've gotten pretty close to top level, but that top level really only has about 10 people in it that are creators that are just really the giants of the industry, and it's really hard to get those guys. But I think anybody in the levels below that, like, we've comfortably gotten like some real legends. You know, we've had George Perez, and we had Alan Davis, and we've had Chris Claremont, we've had Scott Snyder, we've had Greg Capullo. Really, at this point, I think we've had hundreds of comic creators, and I would like to say our show specifically is aimed at, it's a comic creator convention. Now, we do have some other things. We have some voice actors, we have some other kind of content and stuff, some to keep you amused while you're there. But we really are when San Diego Comic-Con started, you know, back in the day, it was about going to meet Jack Kirby and those kind of guys, and it was about dudes with boxes full of comics that you could purchase, and that was it. It was about comic books, period. Now, these days, obviously, people expect you to have media guests, which we've got a few of those, but you know, that's a big complaint that I hear from a lot of creators, that most of the so-called comic conventions have kind of moved away from comics, and they're really more about media. And the sad reality is that you know, I can do a post for a really prolific comic person, and I can do a post for a voice actor, and anime and American cartoons are so much more popular in the general public's eyes that those get way more traction than somebody you think is like a legend in comics. You know, we try to stay true to what we're doing, but also are open to giving people what they want as well. Like, we almost had a really, really good media guest this year. It just didn't quite work out, some of the details.
For all the people that are just joining in, we are talking about the Memphis Comic Expo, but we're also talking about specifically right now what it takes to run a Comic-Con. And you brought up something, Donny, and let us know in the chat. You said a bar there, and I want to just repeat it, okay? And it pretty much alludes to the fact that Comic-Cons aren't for really comics anymore. It's more for entertainment and all the other distractions. So let us know if you guys agree with Donny that Comic-Cons are pretty much the entertainment now, and there's more pop figures getting signed than actual comics, right? And so so let's go back to planning a Comic-Con and stuff. How far advanced?
All year long.
Yeah, so when does it start? Yeah.
You might give yourself a week or two off after it ends, and then if you've got the gumption to do it again, which, you know, we're really just on it's not like I have a 10-year plan. We're on a year-to-year basis. You know, if enough people come and we don't lose money, it's a massive amount of work. You know, you're not necessarily out like raking leaves and doing the yard work or anything, but like, you are putting mental work into it every single day. And I would say communication is a huge part of it too. Like, I think this year we have about 30 guests, so that is 30 people plus, you know, maybe they have a manager or whoever, a rep, that you have to communicate back and forth with for their needs, wants, desires. And that's just the guest list. And then we have the dealers, and we have Artist Alley. So you're really talking about hundreds of people that all year long I'm having to keep up with who needs green jelly beans taken out of their bowl, and, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm joking, but it does get a little, the more fame they have, the more specific it can get, I guess.
So Donny, talk about your team. I met a gentleman by the name of Drew.
Drew is
go ahead.
Yeah, Drew and his wife Katie are helping this year. They've really been kind of the backbone of the behind the scenes. They also are the people that I kind of wanted to take a break just because it's so much work, and they kind of taught me out of it. And so if you're thankful there's a Memphis Comic Expo this year, Drew and Katie deserve a shout out. And they've been doing a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. They spruced up the website. They've been, you know, running our social media campaigns. We have, I will say, for convention organizers, we're using some software that helps organize everything, and it's definitely helped. But it's called EventMe, and I'm sure there's some other options out there, but it's worth investing some money into to get an assist on that side of things. So.
And then what about the vendors? how do you? Is there an outreach thing, or they're coming to you? Like, how does that work?
Oh, well, largely they're coming to me. Once we post that we have a show, this is like our 10th year, so people are usually on the lookout for us. And certainly, we can give an email blast out to previous vendors. But largely they're looking for shows to do. And yeah, I would say we have a pretty good reputation. It's hard to tell people they're going to definitely, make X amount of dollars, but we have a lot of repeat vendors, so that is just sort of a testament to that they do well enough to come back. So,
well, this will be my third consecutive year going to the Memphis Comic Expo, and I had a great time. And I'm just going to show some footage from last year, 2024, and just just speak on who you see. You can talk about last year. You can talk about
a huge guest list last year. So
yeah, it was pretty fat, man. And here we go, and it'll be two artists per slide here.
Yeah, Mark Bagley. Scott Collins is one that we have had a bunch of times. That was our first time for Mark Bagley. Scott has been several times. Like, he does really well at the show, and we're friends too. So we always like to have the guys that you really like. And he was kind enough to hook us up with James Robinson, so that is a win. So.
Yeah, man, that's his partner in crime for the Patra, right?
Yeah, and I think I don't know if it's Patra. I don't know if it's that book or something else, but I think they're looking to continue their working relationship. And we've got another guy at the show, Jeff Johnson, that is working on a book with that's just had a Kickstarter with James also. So. Be multiple opportunities to get double SIGs with those guys.
Yes, and yeah, I got some books I pulled out for some of the guests that are going to be at the show this year later on. Okay, and then I got a question about Mark Bagley. We just interviewed Mark Bagley. I think he's really cool. Most prolific Spider-Man artist ever. We found out drawn more pages than anyone.
I believe it.
And what are your thoughts about his legacy as a Spider-Man artist?
Well, I mean, you just said it. I mean, it's hard to beat that record of however many pages he's pumped into the Spider universe. I mean, I think he pretty much did every issue of like the Bendis Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. And then beyond like however many pages he's done, he's a prolific cover artist and clearly a fan favorite. So yeah, we were lucky to. He was kind of a late addition to our roster last year, but we were lucky to get him.
He was a late addition. I caught him in this clip here. He's never drawn a Hellboy before, and so I thought that was cool. Yeah, and when he said that, I started rolling the camera. I was like, oh, I got to get this. So he's starting this Hellboy here, and then I got to just speak on my man Scott Collins. I'm glad that he's coming back. He's one of my favorite Flash artists.
Oh yeah, that run with Jeff Johns is awesome with all the gallery stuff. So
yes, man, the best Captain Cold ever. And yeah, so I'm happy that he's there, and I can't wait to interview these guys. I'll have a booth at the Memphis Comic Expo, and I'll be wrangling pretty much the whole guest list throughout the week. Scheduling interviews, and then we'll be having a Memphis Comic Expo special here on the Sig Slayer station, where people will be seeing all of these interviews and all of the footage and stuff, and just for the people that can't make it. So you'll definitely get comprehensive footage here on the Sig Slayer station from the Memphis Comic Expo. But this is just last year, and here's another one. A lot of opportunities for guest opportunities last year. This is Daryl Banks and Kevin Nolan. What are your thoughts about them?
Oh man, I love both of them. I'm a huge Kevin Nolan fan. Like, he is one of my top favorites, and I can't remember exactly. I think we've had him 3 or 4 times at the show. He's a super nice guy. Him and his wife are both sweethearts, and he's always had very kind stuff to say about us as far as how we, take care of creators and how well we treat them at the show. He once said he wished he could do it every year, so I was just really flattered by that. And Daryl, you know, told you I was a Green Lantern guy. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, I like his stuff. He does awesome sketches too. And
Yes.
you know, I haven't spent as much time chatting with him, but he had some very kind words for us, and he seemed like a very genuinely nice person. So I got nothing but good things to say about those dudes. So.
Yeah. Daryl Banks. That was the first time. He was the reason why I went to the show last year because I never met him before. He never went to the West Coast ever, and so
Wow.
I never met him. And Ron Morris would show up a lot, and Ron Morris was at Memphis Comic Expo last year as well.
Yeah.
And so getting the tandem, so I brought all my Kyle Rayner joints. But you're absolutely right. He's one of the best con sketch artists. He has that sweet spot style where you're happy with the price and the outcome.
Yes, I would say that for sure. There are, I mean, I'm not going to name them, but there's a lot of guys that they're too expensive. But Daryl Banks is worth the money.
Absolutely. I got to just show you this, man.
And frankly, so is Kevin. He has for years been on the lower end of things. Like I think he's maybe gone up from when he first started coming, but he's still affordable.
Sorry about that. I hate when that happens. I'm trying to go. Got us. Whenever I go to the full screen here, it kicks us out. It always do that. I'm going to nail that transition one day.
I believe.
Hashtag Stash Wars Live for all the people that are in. We will run a prize later on. We have one entry in. I bet you that's my homeboy Space Case Collectibles. Shout out to him. But if you're watching the show right now, whether you're on IG or on YouTube, hop over on the YouTube and put in your hashtag to be eligible to win a prize tonight. I'm going to show this, Donnie. This is not this. This. There we go. This is like one of the sketches that I got from Daryl Banks last year.
It's good, yeah. Nice.
And
Wolverine.
this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome. Is that just on is that on like a backing board?
This is on maybe a backing board cut to a certain size. It's smaller. It's like maybe I'll tell you right now. It's well, sorry.
Or at least about that size. Yeah.
Yeah, this is over 8 inches by. Oh, this is a pretty decent size, like 5.5 by 8.5. It's a weird size, but this is cool for $60.
Yeah,
like
you can't beat that.
You can't beat that at all, man. And then think about what you get with some of these remarks, right? Mm-hmm. Where people are paying $100 or something bucks for a little 50-cent piece size worth of remark.
Yeah,
you feel like you're getting scammed.
Like I would have that guy draw all day and like, okay, give me 10 of them.
Hey, let us know what you guys think about this Wolverine piece right here from Daryl Banks. Yeah, this.
I feel like I've got a Daryl Banks one. I didn't get one when he was at the show, but I did. Feel like I got a Green Lantern piece. Some in one of my portfolios.
You know what he told me. Okay, so one thing before I move on from Daryl Banks.
Mm-hmm.
So I met him for the first time here, and we hit it off, and I was able to interview him. So I got an interview out of MCX. So meeting Daryl Banks, and then I interviewed him like 2 weeks later. It was fantastic. I think it was like my second interview of 2025. It was great. And then Kevin Eastman's going to be there. So let's just migrate over. Well, actually, hold on. Before I do that, let me go back to last year. I'm going to show some goodies that I got in years past from the show. Okay, yeah, I'll show these two because these are ones we talked about Daryl Banks and we talked about Scott Collins. So let me see if it. All right, it didn't kick us out. Great. Hashtag Stash Wars Live, guys. All right, so this one here is Daryl Banks. I got this sketch on a sketch blank This was all done last year's MCX. And what I do, just so you know, Donnie, I have a criteria for these. You know, like there's cats that get these, you know, done all the time, right? Where, you know, where their commission of choice is a blank cover, right? For me, I love these, but it has to be somebody that did the book.
Oh, I hear that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And
It makes total sense.
So it's rare that you can meet that person, and then let alone most of the artists that you do like won't do these.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't like them for a variety of reasons. I think the number one is like the tooth of the paper quality. Like sometimes they're a little too hard to draw on, I hear, but you know, there's no one cover stock, so some of them are better than others. But yeah,
right. But I was lucky enough, and this was a show. What I love, one thing that I'm going to say about the Memphis Comic Expo guys as a Sig Slayer, this is one of those shows where you can come up. And what I mean is, Donnie is absolutely right. They have top-notch guys that can tie your comic books together, like people that's on that book that you wish you met. They're at the Memphis Comic Expo every year. There's somebody. Daryl Banks is one of them. Yeah. And so because of this, I've been sitting on this book ever since I bought it blank. And then I was like, oh wow, I can get Daryl Banks on it. He was only $100. I take that back. I take that back. You want to talk about affordable? That's the other thing. These guys are affordable. I think I got both of these for $120.
Wow.
The whole package for wow. like $120. Okay. And then because I got a sketch on it, now it activated the SIGs now. So then I took it to MegaCon.
Uh-oh.
And then I got Joel Jones on it. I got Tynan on it. I got Ron Mars was there.
Ron Mars there.
I got Ron Mars
in the middle.
Oh, that's Rafa Sandoval.
Okay.
Who's I think doing Absolute Flash or Absolute Superman.
Okay.
One of them.
Excellent.
One of them. Yeah, he's one of the hot DC artists. I saw them in MegaCon. So now this activated that. And so now the quest is to get all the artists that did this book on the back of this to go along with the creator of Kyle Rayner.
How many more SIGs you got to go before you knock that one out?
Oh shit, man! You're talking like 20 or 20 plus. It's gonna be a project. But let me just show you,
right? Smaller.
So here's something just to show you like one that's been done before. So Doug Mankey.
Oh hell yeah!
And then you got this. Boom. So nice. This one when it gets in my acrylic, you know it's put to rest. I don't slap. Yep. I don't slab my shit, but I put it in acrylic.
Yeah, your own slab. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, there's that. So this was one, and then this is all last year, Donnie. And then this, we talked about Scott Collins, Captain Cold, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome. Man, he knows. Scott is another guy that will give you your money's worth.
Yes.
He always puts some detail in it, like.
And when I told him I wanted a Captain Cold, and I told him he was the GOAT at the Captain Cold, he said, he's like, dude, he's like, leave me alone, come back, I'm gonna hook you up. And then I came back a few hours later, and he'd been done with it. But
man, that dude's a machine. He can knock some sketches out.
Yeah, man.
Some guys are slow, some guys are boom. Yeah.
And the quote Ken Lashley, and I'm gonna tell you what he was saying last night. He was saying some cool stuff when he was talking about, like, I was saying like how elite artists don't draw at the shows. A lot of them don't draw at the shows. And he goes, well, how are they elite then?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah. Dude, this dude did like at Comic Fan Expo, Canada. This dude did 25 sketches at that show. That's crazy. Like some people's sketch list is only like 5 or 6. He did 25.
Who do you got on the back there?
So Rafa Sandoval did this one too. And then I got this was also signed by Mitch Garrett last year at Memphis Comic Expo. So after I got the sketch, I was like, okay, cool. You activated the SIG now. So boom, I went and got Mitch. and then so Mitch signed it right after.
Where's
And
your
then
guy Jeff Johns on there?
Dude, you know what's funny? I haven't seen Jeff all year. I went to I'm going to New York in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I thought because like every year the Ghost Machine has their little assembly, except this year, dude. So I'm pretty much going to New York for nothing. But don't get me wrong, I've never been to New York, and I'm gonna go. But I went there for Ghost Machine.
Yeah.
And and to see Jeff and Gary Frank and
oh man, I love Gary Frank. Let me know if you can get him for next year.
Bro, I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to get his dude. Like I never met him, so I was trying to get any kind of signature.
Does he live in Britain?
Yep. And the only show that he would come to the States for was New York, like over the past couple years. Mm-hmm. And Jeff told me last year that they were going to be here. No, he told me earlier this year that they were going to be here, but you know, things change. But
that guy's good.
But yeah, he's fantastic. He's my favorite Superman artist. But I have to go back to this, guys. This was on this here. He did a deal for me. This was $60 a la carte. This is
that's amazing.
And this is the type of stuff I got to give you credit, Donnie, because it takes a like to actually do what you're doing and have the kind of talent you have. You have to really curate the talent and from the level and the cost, and that's a balance. Like, okay, you know, do I get this guy? I would love to get this guy, but he costs this much, and that's crazy. That you have to play that juggling game.
Yeah, I'm not sure most people know that. Not all of them, but some of these guys charge pretty hefty fees just to show up, and then they make a lot of money besides that. So
without saying names, give us some big guys that's on some new books that you know their prices. You don't want to blow their spots, but just to let these guys know how much they be charging. Yeah.
Well, so like you said, we won't say who, but there was a guy like we were talking about before we started rolling. So to come to our 2-day would be like $15K for him to show up.
For just them to show up.
And then you'd make a pile of money on top of that. So, and that's with a first class flight, hotel, like all expenses covered,
Have you ever tried to get Miller?
I mean,
just to see like window shopping.
When you say Miller, do you mean Frank or do you mean
Frank Miller?
Okay. I know how much he is, and I'll tell you when you. It's more than that number I just said.
I just know, as my dad say, he's higher than Giraffe Coochie.
Yeah, I got a friend that says that too, and in this case, it's very true. So.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the site now, and just kind of unpack. Let's go back here. There we go. We're gonna unpack this year's guest list.
Yeah, good, because I'll forget people if we don't have a prompt.
Oh yeah. This is what we do. This is what we do, Donnie. Okay, so here we are, and so I mean, obviously, Kevin Eastman has been like he's the headliner, you would say, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure. He's the tentpole guest.
And this is how many times has Kevin been in Memphis?
This will be his second time. So yeah, just 2 years ago was his first time.
And I was there for that. So that's crazy.
Seemed to do really well. Yeah.
His line was bananas. I didn't get in his line because of it, but I was happy because while everybody was in Kevin Eastman's line that year, I was able to get into Alan Davis's line easier. Right. And so I'm like, okay, cool.
Not feeling great when he was with us, like he had a cold or something. But he's like a real true English gentleman. Like he's a super nice guy.
So Kevin Eastman. Oh, cool. We could click on these and blow them up. So Kevin Eastman, as you guys already know, iconic cartoonist, co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Does a lot of work for I mean everywhere now. I mean IDW, he's all over Image. But
yeah, he's been doing, and he's, in the last year or two, he started doing some Marvel covers.
Yeah, absolutely. And so have you had a chance to do you get a chance to speak to any of the talent? Like what's that rapport like?
Yeah, sometimes some guys more so than others. Honestly, like you said, Kevin was so busy that my interaction actually during the show was pretty limited. But I got to pick him up and take him to the airport, and so yeah, I got a chance to talk to him and his wife Courtney, and they were really delightful people, like real down to earth, and it was a very enjoyable experience.
And so, okay, so I think last year when I saw Kevin Eastman at Planet Comic Con in Kansas City, I believe he was $20, but I think he moved up to 50. Do you know what he's charging for Sig?
I believe it's more in that latter range.
Yeah, I think he's so
exactly, but I think even the last time he was here, it was I think it was at least in the 40s.
So guys, tier 3. This is Jim Lee, but this is really like that Jim Lee tier, right. and definitely Kevin Eastman is Jim Lee tier or above that.
He's in that tier.
Yeah, in status and weight in the game for sure.
Right.
So we just want you to be prepared. Be prepared. If he's $40, if he's in this range, dude, he's doing God's work. Because I know for a fact he was this range at previous shows earlier. So yeah, be prepared for this.
I think he's tier 3. I'm pretty sure he's tier 3.
So he's tier 3. Okay, so just want to put that out there, guys. Yeah. And I'm telling you, that is not going to deter anyone because this dude is iconic. And
he will talk with you. Some guys are just like, get your Sig and move along. But Kevin will give you a moment to chat it up a little bit. And he also does, he'll do a cool little remark. He can draw a Ninja Turtle head and with his eyes closed at this point, I think. So
all right, so shout out to Quan. I don't know that much about Stephen Platt. Can you break Stephen Platt down? I met him last year in Philly. My homie like, yo, man, you really need to get him on your show. So I'm trying to get him on the show, but I'm unfamiliar.
I have never actually met him, and as far as booking him for the show this year, I've only dealt with Quan, his rep. So I don't know. Hope to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so I know for a fact that Stephen Platt is tier 1. I know that. I chat with Quan. I chat with Quan pretty regularly, and I got some Sigs for a friend, and he was $10 a pop. So and that was
That's good. I appreciate it.
So Stephen Platt, guys, just so you guys know, Stephen Platt is going to be tier 1. Stephen Platt there is tier 1. Given the number of people in
signatures, he's tier 1. I think his art is tier 3.
Given the number of people in Eastman line, he was generous with this time. Eugene. This dude, I saw Kevin Eastman recently in San Diego, just in July, late July, and I mean he's at all these different booths, and it is just it's just crazy crowded everywhere, shoulder to shoulder, people everywhere, and I was able to get footage. I was still able to get a picture. He was still like, yeah, I'll definitely take a photo. And even with a long ass line, and so yeah, he was definitely a gracious dude. So Stephen Platt, clearly his bio is right there. says he did New Moon Knight. I'm not big into Moon Knight. Venom. Well, as people know, fans of the show know I'm a DC guy. So if you haven't really done DC shit like that, you're really not really born in me. You're not dead to me. You're just kind of like not born yet. You know what I mean? It's like you're still in the daddy's nutsack stage. Okay, and then all right. So Donny, off of all, let me put us back here real quick. So I want to see you for this. I'm curious. What do you know about the voice actors? Because like once I showed my son the list of the voice actors, and he perked up. And so so I'm gonna go to the voice actor that he really liked.
Okay, which one was the one he liked?
Okay, so this guy here won, and I think this because it's Marvel Rivals. I think it's a game.
Yeah. So we have a theme this year. We have 4 different voice actors that are characters in Marvel Rivals. So we have Daniel Marin, who is Namor, and then let's see, we've got Nika Futterman, who is I think she's probably the biggest voice actor and has the most credits out of all of them. But
That's what we want. That's what I want.
She is Hela in the Marvel Rivals. Let's see, we've got the guy that is Winter Soldier, and then so I'd say also the guy that is Black Panther. He is actually Black Panther in like everything. If it's Lego Black Panther, it's him. If it's Marvel Avengers cartoon, he's the Black Panther in it. Like he's sort of got that on lock. So, and then he's in some other stuff. He's in Clone Wars, and he's all over the place.
So with that said, you said Clone Wars, and that's me. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Are you into Star Wars any?
Oh yeah, I mean, certainly more so when I was young. But man, yeah, that stuff was, the mythology for me when I was a kid.
Asajj Ventress, man, she's Ventress. I was like, Ventress is gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think she's the most notable out of with respect to everyone else. Like she's got a lot of credits.
Yeah, man, Ventress. Yeah, that's
she's in Avatar. She's in Superhero Girl. She's in Clone Wars. She's all over the place.
Yeah, she got a lot of credits, and it looks like she played Catwoman in Brave and the Bold. It looks like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I don't know that much about voice actors. It's crazy because I'm into animation. I was actually, I guess everybody was more into cartoons growing up, and then they kind of got into comics, and then I think there were some people that were into comics and then cartoons, but for me, I was a animation guy that crept in.
Yeah, I loved that stuff when I was young.
Yeah, and that whole era of Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and then I think she's still doing stuff now. I think there was like an anthology series where she was in some series where she actually had hair as Ventress. So yeah, so I'm cool with that. And then going back here, Jeromo Pena. So you're an Image guy, so you must be a fan of him.
Oh yeah, I like Rick Remender a lot. So that's 7 to Eternity. When you've got like a writer of that caliber, and like Jerome's amazing. So I've never actually met him. He's another Quan guy, but his work is outstanding. Like anything he does is top notch.
Jeromo Pena's tier 1, $10.
I hope so.
So yeah, so he's gonna be tier 1. We saw him at Baltimore last year. Quan, like I said, another Quan guy. Yeah. So the only non-$10 dude for Quan is Joe Quesada and people like that. I think Joe Quesada is like $30-$40 or something like that. But everybody else is around the tier 1 range. So yeah, we're talking about Jeromo Pena, who's gonna be there. Yeah, 7 to Eternity.
Man, that X-Force run he did with Rick Remender too is awesome. I know you're not a Marvel guy, but that is an excellent run of.
I gotta check that out. Because I actually randomly picked up 7 to Eternity. Like I just thumbed through a graphic novel, just browsing at a shop, and I was like, "This is dope," and I just picked it up and bought it. And so I didn't know who he was. I thought it was new, and they were like, "No, this motherfucker been around." I'm like, oh, "Okay, well." He new to me. Like I said, he wasn't born yet.
We'll get him on a DC book. Don't worry.
Yeah, yes. And so, so I'm actually happy that he's going to be in Memphis because he's scheduled to be on Sig Slayer. So we were supposed to already had interviewed him like a month ago. So I know we see each other in person, at least expedite a date, and obviously I'm going to interview him there. But
cool, yeah, he's worthwhile.
Yeah, man. His talent, he has great talent, man. I'm a huge fan of Jerome Pena as well. And then who we got here? Okay, John Tyler Christopher,
negative space cover guy. Yeah. I wish we could get him to do some DC covers. He seems like he's, got lock on Marvel. They might have it. I don't know if they have an exclusive with him or something, probably, but I love his covers. So beyond the negative space ones, he's done hundreds of those action figure variants, and specifically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's done. If you like Star Wars, I know it's a Marvel comic, but he's done hundreds of variants for them.
So, like the Mandalorian one, he probably did. That's like a Mandalorian action figure.
I think that's him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I everyone has seen at least one of these variants, these negative space variants.
Mm-hmm.
I never met John Tyler Christopher. I didn't know that he was the guy doing them. I would just see these all over the place on Instagram.
Yeah, that Wolverine one was really hot when it came out. Like,
okay, so you were. I mean, while we're browsing through it, this is a random question, but just so we know. So, what's the temperature? What's like the hot comics people? What are people reading today? Like, if you have to say, like, what are people buying? What are 3 titles that are just leaving the store crazy?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say number one's got to be on a regular basis, something that's like a regular title. It's definitely Absolute Batman. That's got the most heat. It's maintained its sales, and then I'd say even in the last issue or two, maybe picked up a little as soon as they introduced Bane into the storyline. And for those that don't know, the Absolute Edition is sort of like an alternate reality where they can take whatever liberties they want, rearranging the mythology and taking something familiar and making something new out of it. So,
right. So Greg Land, what do you want to say about him?
Oh man, he's another guy that he's done hundreds of Marvel covers. He's probably got, I think he's got a few DC ones here and there, but he's, anybody that's done hundreds of Marvel covers is somebody that you should be glad to get at a convention. He's especially known for, like, he does all kinds of stuff, but he's really well known for the female pinup kind of covers, as you can see in that graphic. We've got 2 of them there with Gwen, Spider-Gwen, or actually that's not her Spider-Gwen outfit, but it's Gwen in a spider outfit, and then there's Rogue over there. But I don't know, I've never actually met him. I've spoken to he and his wife, just online. There's people always ask how you meet these guys, and it's not any one way. Sometimes you contact them through a website, or sometimes you just reach out on Messenger. It's all over the place. Sometimes we have a connection, a friend in common, or you just try and turn over stones until you get what you want. All right, now this cat here, Mike McCone, I would say he's actually like the person that I've become best friends with. That's a comic pro.
Really?
I really love him. He's got a wicked sense of humor. He's English. His work is amazing. His commissions now. We were talking about prices for some guys. He's higher than some guys, but his commissions are fully painted, and to me, they're worth it. But they're not necessarily cheap. But the level of craftsmanship and the fact that it's like a fully painted thing, goes a long way. He's also done tons and tons of covers. He used to do a lot of interiors. He did stuff with your boy. Jeff Johns on Titan.
Yeah, I got to get my Green Lanterns, man. He keeps messing them up, but that's a different story.
Yeah, and he certainly he did some runs on Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, and he's all over the place. But these days he's more of a cover artist. But he knocks out some really good ones. I really love the guy.
Mike McCone is great, though.
I
man.
would say also just from having been friends with him and him been to a handful of shows and seen him at shows, you know, I probably have more of his art than any other artist. So.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I got to bump him off now so it goes up in value.
All right, Todd Knock.
Yeah, Todd Knock. I met him at a little show in Nashville that was respectfully, it was just a total dud. Like there was no one there, but so I got to spend a lot of time talking to the small handful of creators they had, and Todd was one of them. And that was a couple of years ago, but so we finally, I tried to get him last year, but we're finally able to get him and his wife to join us. He's another guy that he's done a lot of interiors, but man, he does a lot of covers. He's been doing a series of, I can't remember if they call it Icon or Iconic, but it's the marble covers with the white backgrounds, and he has just been knocking those out. I feel like one comes out almost every week here lately, and he's another guy that does some amazing convention sketches. Now, I think he does a limited amount of them when he comes.
Right.
I think you have to get on his social media and possibly become part of a lottery to get in on it. But super nice guy. His wife is super nice. He's really nice to talk to. He's generous with his time. You'll have a good experience when you get to meet Todd Knock. So.
Todd Knock is tier 1. He's $10, $10 and holla. So yes, and these are just people in case you run across them at a show. Tom King is $10. Lieber Mayo is 2 free, then $10. And
I always appreciate the guys that give you a couple for free.
Oh man, I tell you, especially in today's climate, man, it's almost extinct, man. And to me, it pays off because you want to get more books signed. So if and then people tend to spend money for people that take care of them, right? Yeah. And so it's like, look, if I know you're not trying to screw me over, I'm gonna hold you down, and that's how it is, man. And so Lieber Mayo, like he could easily with all the covers, he could easily with Batman Damned, he could easily charge $20 a sig.
I love his work,
and he's $10 still.
Yeah.
So Todd Knock is $10. And then I wanted to go here. You were mentioning something about where's he at? Where's it? James Robinson.
Yeah, James Robinson. This is the first time we've had him as a guest. He seems like a really nice guy. We've got a panel with him that I'm looking. Maybe I can sneak into it and see what he has to say. But that run on Starman is one of the best runs of any book, I'd say. And then that Golden Age, I had to put that, even though it's been a while, I had to put that in there. Not only does it have his writing, but it's got that excellent Paul Smith art. And he's just a guy who, you start looking at his bibliography, he's done so much stuff. He's worked probably more for DC, but he's been with Marvel, and he's doing a ton of creator-owned stuff, whether it's Image or Dark Horse. Like he's a productive, prolific guy.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see him. I haven't seen James Robinson since about 2010.
I don't think he does a lot of shows, so we're really blessed to have him.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. And I know him because he when he signs his books, he puts the exact date.
Oh, really?
Like he puts the date, so you know exactly what day, not just the year, but the actual date. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm just going to show you this real quick.
Have you ever read Starman?
I haven't read his Starman. I've been sleeping on it. I've heard it's classic. I'm actually going to get this page signed. Let me know how you guys feel about writers signing original art. I think it's good because, like I said, I'm a Sig Slayer, so I want the concept came from the writer, right? So it's still the writer's project. And this is a Don Kramer piece, but this is from Batman 654. And this scene right here is the scene where Bruce asks Tim Drake if he wants to be his adopted son. And so this is Batman history here, that James Robinson was a part of. And I find it ironic that in issue 654, right, he asked Tim to be his son, and then in issue 655 is Damian Wayne's first appearance. So it's like it was never meant to be with Tim Drake.
Sorry, Tim.
It was never meant to be. It's funny, but I'm definitely excited, and I hope to get that moment caught on camera at the show. And then who else I wanted to talk to? Oh yeah, you mentioned Jeff Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And he's working with who is he working with again? James Robinson as well?
Yeah, he's working with James. I'm blanking the title of it, but yeah, they just did a Kickstarter for a book they're collaborating on.
Okay, yeah.
And he goes by, like I can remember those Wonder Man issues way back, that he did. And, he's a guy who's been around. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like maybe he's done some animation and stuff too.
Now, Pat Broderick, I only met him one time. And I'm a big fan. Obviously, the co-creator of Firestorm. I got that Firestorm signed by him.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show this. This is I don't know what I'm going to bring for him. I gotta dig in my collection. But I wanted to show you this because this is when I first met Pat Broderick, and this was in San Francisco. This book right here is one of my probably in my top 10 books. This is the first appearance of Tim Drake, signed by Bob Kane.
Damn, man, look at that, Bob Kane.
Yeah, Bob Kane, George Perez, John Beatty, Marv Wolfman, and Pat Broderick. And what I love about this, you got the creator of Batman on here, the creator of Nightwing on here, all on the same page. And then I got the whole series. So I got Marv, Pat, and John Beatty. Marv, Pat, John Beatty, and John Beatty didn't do this one, but this is Marv and Pat. And then I'm thinking about bringing for Memphis is more of the Firestorm, the OG Firestorm run with him and Jerry. And because I got Jerry on him. Jerry
Conway. I love that stuff back, when I was a young guy.
Yeah. So I'm happy he came out, and it's just crazy. Like I said, like here in Memphis, I have to drive several hours. I'm talking about 4 years. So they just say about 10, 15 years of being a fan and not seeing him at all. And then when he does pop up in my state, I have to drive actually 10 hours to see him. And that was my only time I saw him. And that was back in, I want to say 2022 or something like that. So it was recent. And so, yeah, this will be my second time seeing Pat. Looking forward to it. And I got some Green Lanterns too. So it's going to be.
Pat is actually a sponsored guest. Another local comic shop, 901 Comics, is footing the bill for Pat to join us. So we appreciate those guys and give them a shout out.
Yeah, yes, man. Shout out to 901 Comics. I actually went there for the first time actually this year. I saw Mike DiCarlo.
Oh, okay, cool.
And guess what? Mike DiCarlo is going to be on the Sig Slayers the first week of October. So I turned that into an interview. So yeah, now that, man, don't miss the Mike DiCarlo interview, guys. You guys are going to love that, man, especially his conversation about ink artists and he talked about how things changed from, the 70s and 80s, where there was more of a partnership between the layout artist and the inker / finisher, right? Then now we got something called a penciler and inker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just in those titles has a lot of different connotations associated with it. And once the advent of the penciler came about, a lot of the old school finishers got phased out. And so that conversation is fantastic. And then also already on the channel, an interview with Bob McLeod. He talks about it too. And then our interview with Klaus Janson. So that's 3 classic inkers talking about the same thing independently. So it was a phenomenon. So I'm not, conspiracy theory, but around the late 80s, early 90s is when you start to see their career path starting to change. And I thought that was very fascinating, but I was oblivious to it until Mike DiCarlo started talking about it on Free Comic Book Day. Oh, there we go. I was looking for him. Scott Collins. He's coming back.
Yeah. I can't remember how many times. I feel like he's probably been with us at least 4 times, maybe 4 or 5 times.
Does he live in the South?
No, he just likes us and likes coming. He, does well, and I guess we treat him well enough that he likes coming back.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, man, because I'm hearing that the people that are at the show, these people that you invite, these creators that you invite, they're having a great time. They feel that you guys take care of them. What's the biggest challenge of getting people to come to the show? Or what's the biggest challenge of running the show at all?
Wow. I don't know. Well, I mean, people are all different. So the things that motivate them are not all the same. Some guys just, it takes a lot of money to get some guys. Definitely, they're all motivated by money to some extent. But like I said, Scott does really well. That's for a variety of reasons. His product is, if he does you a sketch, it's usually an affordable amount. He puts a lot of detail into it, so you're getting your money's worth for the right price. He's a really personable guy. He's engaging. So people, they start to feel, if you've met this guy 3 or 4 times and gotten 3 or 4 sketches and a pile of signatures, you almost start feeling like you're friends with the guy. And, that's part of it. Some people might want to come to Memphis just, there's an outside shot that they want to see some of our cultural stuff, whether that's Graceland or Stax or Sun Records or Beale Street. Or maybe they want to come check out the barbecue they've heard about.
Barbecue, man. Yeah, everything touches smoke out here. I realize, man, it's crazy.
But yeah, I'd say if you treat people well and they do well, that's that part's incumbent upon our crowd. When I first started doing this, people would ask me what they could do, and I would say well, come to the show and then buy some art from these people, and that's a big part of it. We are definitely one of those shows where these guys are looking to do sketches, not just autographs, but sketches, and sell original art. You can buy covers, you can buy interior pages. Everybody sort of has their different things that they do, but they're here to not just have a good time, but also hopefully make a little bread too. So
Maria Wolf, man. Maria Wolf is the shit, man.
Yeah, I love her stuff.
Her art is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I always tell people whenever she's at a show, I always say, just do yourself a favor and look through her portfolio. Just look at her. Just look at it, man. She has some of the coolest stuff in there. And you know what? I'm so pissed because I did have some footage of her last year, and she was talking about Viking mythology and how she liked it so much. And she went on this whole thing explaining this whole Viking thing to me, and because I was looking at Viking art that she did, and she was explaining stuff. I don't remember it. It was something about Loki though, and I was like, okay, this is crazy. I was like, okay, if that inspired you, great. This is awesome. She is. I don't necessarily put tier 0, but she don't charge. She don't charge.
Oh, really? I don't remember.
Yeah, she don't charge. No, and so what I like about
those people. Those people are
yes, they're great, but here's why. I always say this, and this is my like kind of politically correct way of saying it. So I'm trying to say this, guys, that Maria Wolf is free. So if you guys want to get some her variant cover signed, by all means, pull up on her. She'll talk to you. She's great. We just saw her in San Diego.
I gotta say while we're talking about her, so that middle cover, I believe that was a ratio variant for that Doom book.
Right,
and,
right.
I had her. She basically did a remark on it where she drew MF Doom's face onto Doom, and I ended up giving it to one of my friends, but it was super cool.
Oh, what? Oh, she did one of those for you last year?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's crazy because
I wish I had another one of those so I could get it done again, but I don't have one.
That's awesome, man. Like, yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she's a fun person to talk to.
If you have what I was going to say, this is my like politically correct way of saying it, and Maria Wolf kind of reminds me of this, and that is this. I appreciate artists the most that get paid to do art. There you go. There it is. So you're getting paid. So if you're getting paid to do art, that means you're not getting paid for signatures, right? So so Wolf here, right? When she's at the show, she's writing a sketch list down because she's actually open for business, right? She's getting sketches. She's actually a traditional artist alley artist, right?
I'm gonna try and get one this year.
And guess what? Good luck. That list is gonna fill up, right? And
well, so it better be open for me.
Oh yeah, it'll be open for you, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, everybody else is going to be competitive because she's an in-demand artist, and she travels all around, and she gives you your money's worth. So whatever price point you negotiate with her, I guarantee you're gonna love it. She is a true professional, and I'm always happy to see her at these shows because this is what Comic-Cons are all about, and this is what you were talking about, Donnie, about you know, Comic-Cons being about comic books and comic book artists meeting and interacting with the fan, right? And she's like textbook comic book artist where she knows all the shit that's out, knows all the shit from back in the day, and she has her own style, and it can interpret it with whatever IP, you know. So I think she's only scratching the surface. I think, you know, we'll be talking about. I think we're gonna be talking about Wolf for a while, man. Okay, and then I had a couple other questions. So my question to you, okay, we're scrolling through this guest list, Donnie. Is there anybody I haven't mentioned that you feel we should be highlighting?
Oh, let's see. Who else do we need to talk about? Well, I don't know. I mean, we kind of have some guests that go into different categories. I mean, we mentioned we have the voice actors. We had another guy we didn't mention that is Andy Field. He is, I think he's got a lot of credits. Like you can just see from his.
Andy Field? Oh, him or Andy Field? Oh, yes, this guy.
So
this is the other guy. My son talked about.
He's really well known for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another one we have. So we've got voice actors, and then we've got some cosplay guests. We're trying to bump up our cosplay competition. We always, you know, have a good crowd for that, and people love it. I think it's in the 2 to 3 range or something on Saturday. And then this new venue we're at has it's basically a huge gymnasium, so it has like stadium seating in it. So you know the seats are all laid out for everybody to enjoy that. And I'm not sure, we might even do the panels in the same location, kind of just out in the middle of the convention itself. So
I had a question about that. Yes, talk a little bit about the venue And have you guys seen the layout? Is everything on being one floor where you can see everything, or is it different sections? How is it?
Yeah, no, it's all one level. There's a chance we have a panel room upstairs, but other than that, it's all out in the open. There's a ton of stuff. So this facility is a big sports facility, and one of the things they have in there that's part of what we're renting is a ninja obstacle course.
What?
Yeah, I assume, I've seen it. It's one of those things where you jump around and grab rings, and but I don't think I'll be getting in it, but I'd love to see some people get in there. I'd like to see you get in there and give it a shot. And then, we've got some guys bringing video games. We've got a section set aside for some guys who are doing a bunch of it's not something we've had before in the past much, but like some collectible card game stuff like Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Cards in general are just like booming right now. So I think they're doing Magic. They're doing Lorcana, which is the Disney card game, and then they're also doing Star Wars Unlimited. And I think the guys from Warhammer will have a setup. We've got our sponsors will be set up. Like the Grizzlies will have their our G League mascot Maine, who is a I guess he's a tiger, and instead of a grizzly, and so you'll be able to have some photo ops with the hustle.
So
mascot.
it's a tiger mane.
Yep. And then right. And for those that don't know, Maine is how we say man here in Memphis. If you look in the Urban Dictionary, but we've got a lot of stuff. We've got some guys that are bringing some animals, some certain kind of wolf that these wolves of I'm going to mess the name up. I think it's like Windfell or Wildfell, but you can actually take a picture with this animal. Like they've trained and domesticated it where it doesn't pose any harm to anybody. But I believe they'll have a wolf and some kind of giant owl that you can take a picture with. Another sponsor is the Memphis Zoo. They'll have a booth there. They'll probably be doing, all of these guys will be doing giveaways for tickets, and so there's a lot of content to absorb and entertain yourself with us this weekend on the 13th and 14th of September.
Absolutely, man. But we plan to be interviewing somebody from the zoo as well. We think the Memphis Zoo is one of the best zoos we ever visited, man. It is top tier. It's like the only zoo I've been to where the animals actually look happy.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, so Amy Chu here. The reason I saw Red Sonja. I think there's a Red Sonja movie coming out or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I heard they're coming out with like a Red Sonja flick.
I believe it, but I don't think I heard that. But yeah, right. She's kind of all over the place. She pops up all over comics, but she's done Poison Ivy and Red Sonja, and I think you can see there in the graphic Kiss. But right now, she's still in the middle of her miniseries on Emma Frost, White Queen. And actually, there's a double Sig opportunity for the show at that. I think the first issue had a 1-for-25 Greg Land cover. So, if you're able to lay your hands on that, you can get double Sigs.
The double Sigs? Oh, there you go, man. There you go. Now you're talking our language, Donny.
Yes, sir.
Now you talking our language.
Oh,
all right.
How about Dan Parent? Dan
Parent. I was going there next. You read my mind.
Yeah. Obviously Dan is so well known for his Archie work. He is all over the place on that. I just got a cover of the recent Archie Jay and Silent Bob to get signed. You can see there in the graphic he's done some recent Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man covers. He's all over the place, but definitely his Archie work is what he's well known for. And that guy does some cool, affordable sketches. I'm sure he'll probably do anything, but what he's really well known for is sort of like if you wanted a Spider-Man or a Batgirl or something, he would draw them in sort of the Archie style and mash them up with those characters. And I really love. I don't know what tier he's in as far as signatures. I
haven't met him.
He's been with us at the show before. I would assume tier 1, but He's a really nice guy. He does awesome sketches.
I'm getting him on a sketch card. I'm definitely getting a Archie character from him for for the Sig Slayer series. So
yeah, you should do that mashup thing where it's like an Archie as like a DC character or something.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'll definitely do that, man. Yeah. So Dan Perrin, I'm glad you brought that up. And then I gotta talk about my homeboy, David Barron, the left-handed assassin.
Yeah,
he's gonna be there. This guy has done a lot of stuff, and that's what we've been really trying to I guess do lately, because it's funny how I met David like back in 2019, and he was at a comic book signing, and then so like before I was going to the signing, I looked up like what he did to see if I had anything, and I was like, holy shit, like this dude did like everything that I like. Yeah. And starting with Black Mirror. And so if you have any of these Black Mirrors guys, any of these Black Mirrors here, Snyder and Jock, and I think this cover, the original art, sold for like $500,000 like recently. But this story put Scott Snyder on the map. I think this is Scott Snyder's best work. I think it's better than all his new 52 stuff. I think it's pure Snyder. And then the other thing that David does, he does very affordable sketches too. Sometimes free. If you buy something off his table, he'll just do whatever.
Nice.
And if you bring his skits, if you bring his Sig Slayer sketch card to him, he'll absolutely sketch that for free. So if you come to our booth and you actually win a blank sketch card and you take it to his table, he'll sketch anything you want for free.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that with a bat. And then the other thing, this is an Easter egg. Okay. This is an Easter egg. I can't say nothing. But this group could be on to something. But this is Batman Who Laughs. This is Scott Snyder, Jock, and David Barron. I want you guys to remember that combo, because you guys might be picking something up soon.
Foreshadowing.
And then this right here, this is the same series, but a David Finch
cover.
But you see that little Batman logo Finch did for us, and
nice.
then we got Jock, David Barron, and Snyder on this. And so if you have any of these, he'll sign these. So pull up to David Barron's table. The other thing I wanted to say, I think the number one thing you should do at David Barron's table. Oh, and by the way, the most recent Absolute Batman variant, he did that cover with Chris Burnham.
Yeah, Chris Burnham. We've had him at the show too.
Another great artist, man. I love Chris Burnham. Another thing.
More stuff.
Yeah, I wonder what he's doing. He has to be like, when he's quiet like that, that means he's working on something like some independent something or other. Because I was shocked that he did this. I was like, dude, where has he been? Yeah. But another thing, David Barron is a legendary color artist, been in the game since he was 15 at Wildstorm, hired by Jim Lee way back when he was 15. So he was from that camp that migrated over to DC after Wildstorm was sold to DC. And so that's where all the good color artists went. Alice Clare, David Barron, and then you got Justin Ponzer and all those guys. But anyway, he's one of the best color artists in the game. And so any of the con sketches, you want somebody to color it, bring it over to his table, he will hook it up. I saw him do a Jim Chung piece, and he hooks it up. So I'm just going to let you guys know. Here's another one, guys. David's a pro at this. Let's say you have a sketch and it's personalized and you want to buff out the 4 blank, or this is thank you, Kevin or whatever on it.
I got one of those.
You want to get an instant background? Holler at David. He can buff that out. I saw him do that with the Captain America piece, a George Perez Captain America, and my boy bought it off of eBay, and he was like, "Man, this is dope. I just need to get this name off of it." And so at a signing, he brought it up to David. He's like, "Man, what could you do for this? Do with this?" And he hooked it up, and it looks perfect. It looks like it was meant to be. So those are just a couple of tricks of the trade. Just so you guys know, get acquainted with the color artists, guys, because pretty much nowadays they're the second artist on the books now. So it's because the inkers are kind of getting phased out. There's a lot of digital artists these days, and so there's no need for an inker. And then a lot of the traditional artists that we like, they kind of been inking themselves. Like Ken Lashley inks himself now. Tony Daniel inks himself, even though I know Mark Morales is going to be inking them on something big that I don't know yet. But Tony Daniel and Mark Morales is working with each other on something. But traditionally, all the stuff he did with Tom King, Batman, he inked all that himself. And so it's pretty much going to be, Daniel Warren Johnson, Mike Spicer. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be the artist colorist tandem. So as a Sig Slayer, as somebody that really likes to get their book signed, the color artist is going to be featured more in the future. And I foresaw this coming years ago. Once they started using computers, I was like, okay, these guys, get to know these guys. And the first person I got to know was the Gradient General, Allison Clare. And then from there, and then you got David Barron. But get to know the color artists, guys, because they're going to be that second name or that third name. Now it's not going to be 4 names; it's going to be 3 names, especially on the DC Marvel side, on the Image and indie side, because it's all creator owned. Everybody will get the credit on that. But best believe you got to be a bad mofo to have an inker working for Marvel and DC these days. Like, you have to be like somebody people is going to buy those books. But if you coming up out of the game, you're definitely using digital these days. All right, so we unpacked the guest list, but we would be remiss not to have some kind of stash war here. So I was showing some stuff, but Donny, when I was talking to you, I was like, man, I know you got some, doing all of these shows. You've been doing this for almost a decade now.
Yeah, we started in 2014, and this will be our 10th show. Yeah.
So you got 10 shows. So I know you have accumulated something. They definitely have to work together again ASAP. Shout out to my boy Dave Dunk over there on IG checking us out. I wanted to see what you got, man. Is there anything you would like to share? Anything from your collection? I'll give you the stage.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've got several portfolio books full of stuff. I just grabbed a couple of random things. So I think 2 years ago when you came, we had Kevin Eastman before. We had Howard Shaken. Here is a Blade couple of drawings he did on for something. So I can't remember. It wasn't outrageously priced. I feel like it was pretty affordable. I don't know if you want to trade back and forth, or you just want me to hit you up with a few.
We will trade back and forth. I'm just put your name up real quick. Yep.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Boom. I just wanted to get your name up so people know the people that are coming in. Boom. Yeah, we're gonna trade back and forth for sure.
Okay.
Let's do this. All right. So here we go. All right. So for me, all right. So I showed you guys, the Black Mirror, which I love, and let us know if you know what's up with this, and let us know in the chat if you guys can identify with any of this stuff we're talking about. Let us know in the chat, man. Because
are you the guy that bought the Jock cover for that private purchase?
No, I'm not. No way. Okay, but then you mentioned Kevin Eastman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin Eastman. So this is the
Nice.
one I'm going to show. So this is the first appearance of the Krang, and this is the first multicolor bandana TMNT issue. And I'm speaking like I'm a freaking expert, and I'm not. I got
one of the Archie series, right?
Yeah, this is the number one. This is the first Archie joint. Yep. And so yeah, Kevin Eastman, if you catch him good and you schmooze with him, he might put a little remark on there like that. And because sometimes he charges for these things.
Oh, he charges for them, yeah.
Yeah, like this wasn't charged. Like when
that's very nice, yeah.
He did this, out of the kindness of his heart. But yeah, this is one of my favorite Kevin Eastman SIGs.
All right, back to me. This is a Derek Robertson Batman commission.
Okay.
Derek's been with us a couple of times. He's a super nice guy. I really enjoy. I always feel like if I reach out to him, we'll have a good conversation via email or whatever. But he's somebody that we'd always like to entertain having him back. Derek is best known for his work on the Boys, probably, but he's all over the place. Actually did that other book with Grant Morrison called Happy that was also a TV. Do you know any other dudes that have 2 TV shows? And I think, I guess there's still a chance, but he did the art on Transmetropolitan. I know that was actively.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
I don't know about now, with everything that's going on with Warren, but, he's put the work in and he's hopefully reaping the benefits.
And then I'm going to show one more Kevin Eastman.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually the last SIG I got from Kevin Eastman. This was last year. Nice. And this is the last Ronin. It's funny, like this came out like during like the pandemic, I think, like around that time, like that weird period. And like I thought this book, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like I just kept one, and I actually sold a bunch. I did not know that this book was going to be like a key book. It
blew up, and they're doing a movie now. They're doing a rated R Ninja Turtles movie off of it, I think.
Oh, I'm game. Yeah. I'm game for that. I'm totally game for that.
I think, unless my brain dreamed that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
Shit, man. Dreams come true, man. Let's make it happen.
All right, let's see. I got a really good one here. This is from Abe Sapien from the Hellboy universe. This is Kevin Nolan. I don't know how well you can see it on there, but
Kevin Nolan, huh?
Is an awesome guest. His work is impeccable. He's one of my top 10 personal favorites, and just a really great guest. He's been with us a few times and always had good things to say about being with us.
Man,
I really appreciate it.
Well, actually, I was gonna dig out more, but I think I still want to show this, man, because it's like this is like the thing that I'm most excited about that I'm going to bring this year. So like I'm bringing this joint. I definitely want to get some kind of anecdote from James Robinson about like this era and like actually what went into the decision. And I don't know if you guys remember during this time, Tim Drake, his parents was killed or his father was killed in like identity crisis. This is all during that time, like 06, pre-Infinite Crisis era for the DC buffs out there. But I love this page because it's the only piece of art I have where it has the Batmobile, Wayne Manor, and you get a lot of different shots of the Batcave, all the different landmarks. But then also, like, if you're reading Batman now, you're not in Wayne Manor anymore. You're not in the Batcave no more. Alfred's dead. You know what I mean? So like it becomes a period piece all of a sudden. And I think after what's that new Batman that just came out this week with Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez, Alfred's like an AI hologram or some shit now. So it's weird. So Alfred, just even having Alfred, just even seeing the Bat Cave. When is Bruce going back to Wayne Manor? So it's just a whole different like landscape with Batman. So like a lot of the stuff that was kind of status quo is changing. So I'm curious to see how much this is going to stick. Are they going to bring back Alfred? Is Bruce going back to his birthright house, right? And if they don't, especially with this whole Absolute Batman, I agree that Absolute Batman is popular, and but the one thing that made me a little cautious is that with the popularity of Absolute Batman, that they'll take more risks with the other Batman title and do more things where it's like where the status quo gets further and further away from what we're familiar with. And so with the popularity of Absolute Batman, I can strongly believe that this Alfred thing, like he can stay permanent. And if they like the whole AI trope, there could be a whole generation not even remembering when Alfred was a person.
Right. Who's that? Who's Alfred?
Exactly. And all it takes is for it to be in a movie or something. Yeah. And then it's a wrap. If James Gunn does it, it's a wrap. If he manages to give us a hollow Alfred, it's over. What, you got something else, Donny?
Yeah, man. I really just because it's sitting here in front of me and because of your relationship with this guy, but we haven't been fortunate enough to have this guy as a guest. But can you tell me if you recognize any of this? That is a 2-page spread from Doug. So,
that's Doug Mankey. But what was that? Superman?
This is from Superman, Wonder Woman.
There we go. Yeah, like the new 52 era, right?
Yeah.
Put that back up, man. That's crazy. Is that your? Do you have more double page spreads, or that's the only one? That's crazy.
No, I've got a few. I think I showed you. I don't have it right here in front of me, but I've got a Green Lantern Corps, Pat Gleason. I probably have some random things here and there. I sometimes forget what I even have,
So all right. So let's talk about that now. We talked about that now as we wrap things up here. You went obviously lifelong comic book fan. Man, I didn't know that about your story about you and comic and collectibles, man. That's a great story. What a great life, man. Blessed life, man, to be able to be a part of comics.
Well, yeah, in some ways. Sure.
I mean, there's always challenges. Don't get me wrong, but like to say that you could be a part of an industry that you love for that long is a blessing because most people don't. You know what I mean? Put it this way. I'm pretty sure there's some dude that used to have a video store and loved it, and then boom, Netflix came, and then
Blockbuster,
so that's what I mean. Is so I think that's fantastic. Okay, but so you started obviously reading and still read, but then when did the transition come to the whole art scene, and what was it first? Was it just little doodles? How did it progress to publish stuff?
Well, I've always loved art. When I was a teenager, like in high school, I wanted to be an artist. So I'm the proverbial failed artist. But I would say really it probably started at those early conventions that I went to, and I got some sketches. And then in more recent times with the convention, it really started when I was trying to let's just be honest and call it what it is: bribe some guys into coming to the show by spending some money with them. That the dollar talks sometimes, and you spend some money with a guy, they'll start thinking you're serious. And I had to do a lot of that in the beginning, and but the show is taking on. Our crowd's good, and they spend enough money where I don't have to worry about that stuff as much. But that's how it sort of took hold as far as me having a collection of art though.
Man, that's fantastic, man. Like me, it was kind of, SIGs is always the gateway drug. But then I think for public stuff, for me, it was not wanting to go through the hula hoops you got to go through to get like commissions and stuff, like being on the list, or worse. I know you heard those horror stories of fools waiting years for a commission and stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh no, dude. Oh
certain
no.
Guys have certain reputations.
Yeah, like I'm cool and like fools would be like, yeah, man, it's only been like 6-7 months, and people like, oh man, chill, man, that's not that long. I'm like, what? Not that long?
No, I had a friend it took like 2-3 years to get something that was already done.
Dude, that is crazy to me, dude. And then they got your bread up front, and then there's dudes that has been waiting years. I know a dude that paid I don't know how much money for Jim Lee's, right? And he hasn't gotten jack, but Jim told him every time he see him, he'll give him a little quick little side profiles of anything he wants until he does.
I would hit Jim at the grocery store.
Oh, this dude be everywhere. You gotta see this dude, man. This dude be up at the crack of dawn for these signings, so he can be first.
Yeah, and
then he'll put them on, a hardcover or something like that. It's crazy, man. But that's a positive story. But I've seen a lot, especially there's a Facebook group. I don't know if you're part of it, like Sketch Prices or whatever on Facebook, where they give you a lot of the SIG prices and how much people are charging for commissions. But they also share like horror stories, or it's kind of like group therapy, like when they're like
buyer beware,
yeah, like the buyer beware. I call it group therapy because like sometimes they want to blast an artist, but then everybody's like, ho, before you jump off the ledge, have you did this? Have you did this? Have you did? So that's why I'm like, okay, they make them go through all the steps before you completely AK an artist online.
I've got a friend who has a guy, I'm not going to say his name, but it's a sort of popular pinup guy that feel like is owed him like an expensive commission for like, I think it's getting close to a decade. And I'm like, dude, we need to go brace this dude. Like,
that's crazy, dude.
Hit him in the leg with a pipe.
That is insane, man. Like that. So for me, I just couldn't do it. But it was really the gateway to publish stuff was I actually got a free piece. So like one of my favorite creators of all time surprised me. We were at a signing. He was like, yo, I got something for you. And I'm like, what? We're like in line, and he went to his car and came back and hooked me up with a Reso page, dude. And I was like, oh. Yeah, a Reso Batman page.
Nice.
And so I was like, oh my God. And so so and then it kind of snowballed from there. But for me, I think the hustle for me always getting free SIGs as much as possible. But then if you can get a little doodle, not a remark, I don't even know what a remark is. A remark back in the day was a little doodle, a little heart, a little man, a little head. Like now a remark is like a sketch, like a right. You know what I mean? Like it's whatever it's like whatever they want it to be. But like I've seen shitty remarks that are like that, like, and then I've seen like okay, this is a remark.
Oh yeah, wow.
Like, dude, like come on, dude, like come on, like knock it off. Like that's not a remark, like that's
was that a Gene Ha?
No, that's a jock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a jock.
I saw that it said HA like Ha. Like
yeah, Gene Ha does do that. Yeah, but he did it, because that's the whole little Batman Who Laughs crap. But yeah, that was technically a remark. But then like where's that book at? Oh, the Batman Who Laughs, right? Like to me, this is a remark. Like these little things, these little doodles like that when they put little bat logos and stuff. So like for me, I would ask for little things like that. Like for example, if it was an artist's first Batman issue that they ever done, I'll have them do a bat logo on it, and that'll be like, yo, that was your first one ever in your career, and that'll let me know to keep that book, right? But a remark these days, like,
so speaking of remarks, I kind of like some of the ones that some people do where it looks like if it's not white out, then maybe it's like some white paint where they'll carve out a little area and then they'll almost do like a fully rendered head inside of that. You know, you've got one.
Now hold on, let me show you now.
Yeah.
Now you making me have to pull it out. Where'd it go? Where is it? There it is. I know exactly what you're talking about. These are the only two in existence. Put it back here. You're talking about these right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is Jason Fabok.
Nice.
This is on 3 Jokers, and then I got the clear board on it, and then this one here is the other one. There's only 2 of them. And you know, this one's signed by Jeff Johns and Brad Anderson and Fabok. Nice. So yeah, this is the set. Yep. But yeah, like, okay, so these, all right, we can agree. Those are remarks, right? I would say these are kind of remarks. These are, I wouldn't go out on a limb and say that these are sketches.
Right.
I would say this is a remark. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I've seen
it's like an all-in remark, like a fully committed remark. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, and so it's weird how like what they give you for the price level. Like I've seen like I think Bill Sienkiewicz is like 125 or 175, and this fool is like Picasso with some whiteout and you know some what do you call some toothpicks and Q-tips and hawk a loogie and smear something to, you know what I mean? Just make some magic happen, you know. Yeah. But I think that's the most ambiguous thing. But to me, I would ask for these, and I would say, "Hey, man, give me a little remark," like, and that's that. So, and that would be like me getting a little bit more than a Sig, and that's what I kind of value. Like, I got Todd to do one, and like, dude, they'll say flat out no. Like, I've gotten rejected big time just on, can you do a little logo? Nope. So I used to shoot my son, like when he was like 5 and 6 and 7. Now he's like 6'1" now. Now he's at rejection height. You know what I mean? I can't
take the neighbor's kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. So now I got
take some Visine, give him some Visine too.
I got my youngest kid now, so I got to wait for him to be like 4.
Right.
And like, yeah, here, Jim Lee. You know,
all he wants for his birthday is a remark.
Yep, that's what I would say. You know what? This is his favorite book from 1988. He was born 5 years ago. It happens all the time, man. They were like, dude, like, you read this book? He'd be like, yeah. And we're like, dude, you got good taste.
Yeah.
Okay. Frank Cho hit me with a Batman profile remark for free last year. Wait a minute, Frank Cho was there?
Yeah.
Bro, where the hell was he?
He was not often at the show. He's on one of those guys that has a schedule. We didn't really know about it. That company is not great at communicating some of the details. So, yeah, he was just there part of the time.
Yeah, because I was there both days, and I was waiting on sketches. I was waiting in line. I was like, I knew he was on sketch, and I knew because both of the Chos were supposed to be there, right? Like Michael Cho was supposed to be there.
Yeah, Michael got COVID at New York Comic Con and had to unfortunately cancel. Frank was technically there, but I feel like he canceled too.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, Donny, you know, we unpacked the guest list. We talked about the history. Is there anything before we head into the week of the Memphis Comic Expo that you want people to know that will be attending?
Oh man, I would just say, you know, if you love comics and you're in the region and you can make it, like it's the kind of convention you should support. Like there's all kinds of stuff, you know, anything from signatures to conversation, opportunities to buy art, you know, to commission sketches, to buy originals. And then really the community of a whole lot of people that love comics over the course of this weekend. We can use all the help we can get. You know, we're on a year-to-year basis. If not enough people show up, you know, we'll have to quit doing it. But we hope we get a good crowd, and we just hope to see everybody come out and have a really fun, wholesome weekend.
Man, fantastic, man. Well, I'm definitely going to be there.
Cool,
I put Ventress and Kevin Eastman in the graphic because that's what we're excited about.
Yeah.
It should be a fantastic show. I echo everything you said there, Donnie. And then wrapping things up, we're talking about next week. You mentioned Archie and Dan Parent. Well, guess what? Timmy Hague is one of the newest Archie writers, and he's actually writing a crossover with Patton Oswalt and those guys with the Minor Threats over there at Dark Horse. So we're going to be a Dark Horse Archie crossover that Timmy Hague and Scott Koblish are doing together. And we're going to be this show is dropping next week, next Thursday. And I believe the following week is when that Minor Threats, the next issue of Minor Threats and Archie crossover comes out. And so, and also what's also crazy, you would appreciate this. Timmy Hague is probably one of the youngest comic shop owners I've ever met. He's 30 and owns 2 shops. Wow. He owns Arsenal Comics in Newbury Park and in Ventura County. And as an LA native, it's one of the more popular shops, both of them in LA, and actually technically not LA, but LA, and they have a huge social media presence. Their lines at signings are crazy. They get all the signings, from all the big signings. It's really right now, if the LA landscape it's Arsenal Comics, Golden Apple, and Collector's Paradise. They're like the triad. That's where all the signings are. Like they get everybody. They get Jim Lee for free. That's how I got those Jim Lees. And all you have to do was buy the freaking Hushes, and you got a bunch of Jim Lees for free. So shout out to Timmy. We got him next week. And then here's our schedule for the month of September, because this is the first week of September. So this is our rollout for the month of September here on the Sig Slayer station. So last night, guys, if you did not tune in last night to Sig Slayers 100, where we went live, and man, it was insane. We started off the show with one of the only curator for African American original art, and we're talking about stuff from the Golden Age, Joe Louis art. His name is DJ Big Phil. He is the Collection in Black curator. He was a guest panelist last night. We had Doug Mankey last night. We showed some animations with him. We had Jeremy Adams from Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps and Aquaman and Lego Flash and Battle of the Super Sons movie, talking about stuff. Okay, Donnie, this was the funniest shit I heard all last night. I got to tell you this. So I had, you're a Green Lantern fan. Yeah. So I had the current Green Lantern writer, Jeremy Adams, explain to the audience all the Earth Green Lanterns, because there's a shit ton now, right? I was like, dude, there's enough for a Wu-Tang cover, a Wu-Tang variant cover now, dude. I was like, it's crowded as hell in 2814, right? Yeah. And so he's explaining, he's doing the rundown, right? Now he's getting in he's getting in the weeds. Now I didn't know. Did you know? You probably know. I didn't. Did you know that there's a current Green Lantern, Earth-based Green Lantern, that's a sentient construct? The construct itself is alive and saving the day. What the hell is that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh my God, dude. Like, I almost spit out my water last night when he was explaining this. And that's why I tell people not to explain storylines out loud, because you would sound like an ultrasonic geek. Like, just tell them to read it. Don't explain it, because you're going to sound like a buffoon, right? Yeah. But then he also said that John Stewart's current power ring is the essence of his mother's soul. What the hell?
I missed that one.
Bro, we flipped out last night. That was crazy. And then we wrapped up the show Sig Slayers 100 with the great Ken Lashley, Predator, like pretty much all the Predator crossover covers, plus the first Predator crossover with Marvel versus Wolverine. I mean, it's just one of the more prolific Marvel artists right now. What'd you say, Donnie?
I said he's awesome. We've almost had him as a guest, but it was like the year we had to cancel for the pandemic, and then thought we'd get him last year, but it just hadn't worked out so far.
Man, we were privileged enough to kick off the NFL season, and I know you're a freaking Chiefs fan, and the Chiefs are playing right now.
Who's winning?
I don't know anything, but I know you're a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I was like, man, Donnie, you the man, because I know you want to watch. I want to go on YouTube and watch the game. I know I am once I get off.
Yeah.
But but anyway, Ken, he actually drew a storm for us last night.
Oh wow!
On over the live, and we were talking about the NFL kickoff season, and we talked about that. But anyway, next week we have Timmy Hague, and then we have the first non-Japanese. Here we go. I don't know if I want to butcher this, but mangaka.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dude who makes manga. Okay, that's how I translate that. Felipe Smith. He will be joining us, and he's actually like half Jamaican, half American or whatever, but he's the first non-Japanese mangaka. And he also does a lot of variant covers for Marvel, a lot of Ghost Rider stuff. I think he's back.
Is that him in the graphic there?
That's him in the graphic. Yes, that's Felipe Smith.
Okay.
We usually highlight the person who I think is I don't want to say the most significant, but to be the first Japanese and the non-Japanese mangaka, right. That's pretty impressive. Oh, I totally glossed over. My bad. Shout out to Karan Kaiser Stone. Now, did you see Batman Dark Knight Returns, the animated movies, part 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Well, Karan, he did the character designs for that.
Oh, wow.
Did you see Batman Year One, the animated movie?
Yeah.
Karan did the character designs for that.
Nice.
And he also did some of season 1 of Young Justice. I want to say character design for Young Justice, but he did. He said, I think character correction. Either way, he was part of the character crew for Young Justice, but he was on a design crew for Year One and Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2. So Karan, the reason why he's significant, other than he's made awesome animations, he also did some Spider-Man shit too. He worked a lot with the Wisemans and all that. But the reason why he's really significant is that he was one of the first artists to really use social media to get gigs.
Mm-hmm.
So like, whereas a lot of the artists like years ago, like this is like, outside of deviant art, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were really kind of hesitant to put their shit out there for free and all of that. There's a lot of that. And then he was like, no, dude, I'm about to just do it. And so he would do a lot of IP as comic book style. Like, so he would do like McDonald characters and Ronald McDonald. And so he has this very cool stylized approach. And he got a lot of attention from the animation studios. And so, so he was one of those dudes that where social media got him a career. I mean, literally he was working like security or something prior. And he was just drawing on his, breaks. And so Karan Kaiser Stone, if you like Warner Brothers Animation, that's going to be a great interview.
Yeah.
And then the process. Now, you heard of that publisher Bad Idea, Donnie?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So we David Barron, I produced a David Barron show, The Process, and he's doing a conversation style where I do a time-lapse version of his rendering. So he'll take a cover from black and white, and so 10 minutes later, you'll see black and white and it'll be fully rendered, right? So in the duration of that render process, David would have a conversation with the person he's collaborating with. So This episode of the process, David will be interviewing, I guess, the owner of Bad Idea, Dinesh. I can't remember, Sham something. I can't remember. I can't pronounce it. I do not want to butcher his last name, but everybody knows his name, Dinesh. Okay, you know why I think he was like a former Valiant owner too, or something like that. But he's a freaking notorious comic book art collector.
Oh, okay.
So this dude owns ASM 300 cover.
Oh, wow.
He owns Ultimate Fallout 4 cover.
Wow.
He owned the Andy Kubert first appearance of Gambit cover.
Wow.
He owns both Strange Academy #1 covers.
What's his address?
And I think he has the New Mutants, the first Deadpool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I first met him at a comic art show, and I'm looking at he was just there showing people his collection. Like he wasn't even there selling anything. And so anyway, we're gonna be interviewing Dinesh, talking about what it's like to run a publishing company from the ground up, like Bad Idea, almost in a similar way as we're talking right now about how you have to start Memphis Comic Expo from the ground up, you know, as an organizer. And so we're able to have that conversation with Dinesh while seeing what's his name, Hank something, Pizza Detective, a cover from that Henry. I don't want to butcher it, but it's Pizza Detective. I do remember that. I remember editing that title. So just once again, next week we have Timmy Hague, and then also, boom, your boy is gonna be at the Memphis Comic Expo with the Sig Slayer booth. Man, my booth look proper. It's all red. It looks all nice. So it's gonna be perfect for these interviews. You guys will be giving away stuff. We'll be giving away sketch cards, so you can go over to David's table and get some sketches. I'll be getting some sketches done by artists at the show to give away because we'll be interviewing pretty much everybody at the show. And then Donny will also be shooting a couple different formats. We'll be shooting interview format. We'll be sitting down at the booth because pretty much my booth is just going to be an interview booth. But then we're going to be bringing cosplayers over, some of your sponsors over, people from the community, talking about the greatness of the Memphis Comic Expo, and that would be vertical format for social media. So we will be doing real-time posting. So whoever's on the back end of y'all social media accounts, I'll be sending collabs y'all way during the show as well. So people will be getting footage real time. So people may be more inclined to, show up later on Saturday or early Sunday to see what they're sleeping on. So Sig Slayers will be partnering with the Memphis Comic Expo, trying to get the most comprehensive coverage of this great show next weekend. And we are excited, man. It's going to be fantastic. Well, guys.
What's that?
So like it's going to be great. We're about to wrap up the show. Donny, I want to say thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. This was great, man. Also, I gave you a sketch card, so
I need to get busy.
I want you to draw on it because whoever I'm going to do like a 3-card Monty kind of thing, and so whoever ends up pulling your sketch card is going to unlock some great prizes. So I'm going to announce that at the booth
behind door number 3.
Yeah, so if they pull your sketch card, it's going to be like the big Joker, okay? And then that'll unlock a slew of prizes, some merch, and all of that stuff. So
I got to get to work.
So please visit us here at the Memphis Comic Expo. Say what's up to Donny. Say what's up to the Sig Slayers and all of the wonderful guests. That is it for Stash Wars Live, man. It's another great Friday, guys. Come back. We will not be here next week, but I will tell you to pay close attention to our channel because I will be showing you guys clips in our shorts, they call them on YouTube, of the Memphis Comic Expo. So you will be seeing some of those artists in real time signing books and doing sketches. So you will be getting some footage here on the Sig Slayer station Friday, but we will not be doing Stash Wars live because we're getting ready for the Memphis Comic Expo, but we will be giving you guys some footage. But that is all for Stash Wars Live. Please smash the like button. If you are a first-time viewer, please subscribe to the Sig Slayer station. We interview some of the best talent in all the comics.
You have some amazing guests, man. So
thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. We work hard, and so we give you guys quality content. I want to thank Donny again for giving us the opportunity to expose you guys to the Memphis Comic Expo. And so we're going to make some magic happen. We're out, guys. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.